So David, right?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. Man.
Nice to meet you. What's your name again?
Aaron.
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 Thank you.
So what's your situation right now?
Currently, I'm trying to just get back home because I got stuck in a bad place. Coming back here for vacation. Um, I got my things stolen in the beach, and I had my personal belongings, my phone, as well as my wallet. The day that I was waiting for a confirmation for an Airbnb, and I was getting ready to just finish my stay here in Miami and go back home to California and Los Angeles, where I live and work.
So when they stole your stuff, what happened?
I went out swimming, and when I came back after about 35 minutes, 40 minutes, I noticed that my bag, like my towel and my bag, had been messed with, and so I had gotten my personal belongings stolen. And I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who to call at that moment because I didn't have my phone. So I kind of just stayed at the beach in South Beach, uh, trying to figure it out and just trying to walk it off because I kind of got like aggravated about the situation. So I didn't know, and I ran into a curfew situation with the police, and they mistook my information as being false, and they sent me to jail, and I had to wait in jail for about maybe 45 days, almost 2 months, to be able to come outside. So they try to, like, I guess made an example out of me, and I had to go through the process. And when I came out, decided to stay a little longer to try to face the situation at court because I didn't want to have a warrant out for my arrest over something
Right.
very minor. And so I took care of that, and then luckily it all got dismissed. It's just got the judge side as a big misunderstanding as well. Once I got it dismissed, I came towards this area to try to just figure out what to do because I had to replace my phone. Luckily, I was able to do that already, and now I'm just trying to figure out how to get back home.
How long ago was this?
Um, this was about in total about three months ago now, 3.5.
So you've been out here for 3 months?
Yeah, about 3 months or so.
How are you surviving out here?
Um, but I'm not I'm not lazy. I like working, so sometimes I look at recent like sneaker drops. I'm a sneaker collector,
Mm-hmm.
and so I try to see a good deal that comes away on like along the way and try to get shoes to get so for resale purposes
Right.
in the future. And when those big drops come, I try to buy them and keep them and sell them. I get the resources from a good friend as a partner in California,
Yeah.
and sometimes I let them know like, oh look, this is good, that's gonna drop, or we could make money on this. So I like buying and reselling pretty much.
That's good. So at least you're doing something for money, right?
Yeah, of course I get cravings and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when it comes to your day-to-day, are you sleeping in the streets or do you have somewhere to stay?
No, I've been trying to fix that situation. I was trying to stay at Camilla's house, but the homelessness crisis is very big, and like their space is very limited, and
Yeah.
the priority is senior citizens or handicapped,
Mhm.
which there's a lot of. So I rather just probably even give my spot to somebody that really, really probably needs it more than I do.
That's nice of you, man. What has your experience been so far in these past 3 months being out here? Which a situation that I'm sure is new to you, right? Because you lived in California and now you're here. You don't have a roof over your head. What's
Yeah,
that experience like?
it's pretty random. I learned to pretty much just like laugh at the bad times so they don't come as hard.
Yeah.
So to me it's just random because I've been pretty blessed before. I managed to leave the country a couple years ago and I studied abroad, and I did pretty good over there. I studied languages.
Yeah.
I lived mainly in Asia and Southeast Asia, in China. So I study Mandarin, and it reminds me of when COVID started because I got stuck there during COVID,
Really?
and so I couldn't fly back home. I had to wait a while, and it was like lockdown. And luckily, I wasn't homeless over there,
Hmm.
but I had to like uh, accustom myself to staying in longer than what I really wanted, and it became pretty stressful at certain points because it was a long time I had to wait
I'm sure.
before I could fly back to this way.
I'm
It
sure.
took like about a year and a half or something like that.
Let me ask you a question. What do you think about those people that say that homeless people are lazy alcoholics or they're addicted to drugs? When in your case, it doesn't appear to be that way. You just happen to fall into an unfortunate situation.
I think it's a pretty. It's not pretty much black or white area. It's like a really big gray area. I can't say that that part of what you're saying it's not true, or that you don't see a rate of people that are stuck in those type of situations,
Hmm.
which are still a social problem. I mean, drug addiction it goes hand in hand with homelessness. But there is a lot of people that have like a story for life circumstances where they ended up in this situation, one way or another. And so I don't like to judge. That's how I managed to make like good acquaintances here for like the time that I'm trying to just figure my way out around here.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good if you're a person that is aware. You can't judge a book by its cover, and just always try to find out. And I try to help out as much as I can. The time that I was here at Camilla's house.
I feel like a lot of people distance themselves from the homelessness situation and think that that can never be them. And in reality, that's not very true. I think this can happen to anybody. Just a lot of people are not very aware that it can. So it's very true. Don't judge a book by its cover. What are your plans? What do you need in order to get out of here? Your documents?
Yeah, I was able to get a school ID. I managed to join Miami-Dade College for a short uh, course,
Hmm.
and I think with that ID I'm allowed to travel. I already went to the airport and dropped off a friend, and I asked TSA if I could fly with that type of documentation, and they told me that actually I could.
Nice.
So somebody from the airline took me to be able to speak to TSA, and they took the ID and they found out. I guess since I have a Camilla's house ID too, I think that might be good enough to be able to get back home, or I could just go back on the road, which I think probably would be a good time to reflect for me. Just be on the road and just get back home where I can work
Yeah.
and get my life together again.
Do you have any family?
My sister's back at home. She goes to school and she works. She's young. She's 21 now.
Well, David, I think we're gonna get rained on, but
Yeah,
man, I appreciate your time and
yeah. Thank you.
thank you so much.
I'm gonna be able to say that.